meters. Starter hits the lever and we are underway. Big Spender was a little bit awkward away. Tune again began well with stable companion Alpine Diamond in the black cap in the center. Her Royalty is 3 deep on the outside. Chocolate holds the fence back in fourth. Followed further back by Serendipitous, who's 5 lengths off the leader. Then Alado's Habit, Dirty Mimosa, the green sleeves just outside of that. Chloe's Dancer directly behind that one. Big Spenders on the move around runners, the green sleeves and cap. Hat Montero's further back in the field with Palace of Justice on its outside. 2 lengths away then to Shout at the Moon. They well stretched out at this stage, probably about 20 lengths. Then came behind that one on the outside, Walk on the Wild Side, and Regina Lewis the trailer. Homeward bound, Her Royalty leads them in here with 400 meters to go, clear by 2 lengths. From in second, Tune again. Chocolate, Serendipitous on the far side. Further back in the field is Alpine Diamond. It's Her Royalty in front on the outside. Far side, Serendipitous and Chocolate, and Tune again between runners is also fighting on gamely. Her Royalty in front, down the inside, Serendipitous, and on the outside, Walk on the Wild Side is absolutely flying home and got up. Walk on the Wild Side from in second, Her Royalty. Then came Alado's Habit, and further back was Chocolate. First win on its first run. So look at that, extreme right-hand side, the white cap starts to fly home into the final 150, made up a ton of ground in a matter of seconds. Her Royalty holding on. Tune again, Serendipitous. We were focusing on those because they were the ones in the race, and here comes Walk on the Wild Side, flashing home on the outside to win it. 14.591. That's how they cross the line.
Well, what a finish of excitement to get us going this early in the day, first of the afternoon, and it's been a storming late run by Walk on the Wild Side, the daughter of Gimme the Green Light, having her first run and certainly doing everything right. So very well done to all concerned. Very well done to her groom, Yonela, who's going to be celebrating 1,500 Rand from World Sports Betting. He'll be ecstatic with that. And once again, we've got Godfrey on hand to collect on his behalf. Godfrey, thank you very much. Richard standing by, opening the day with a winner. I'm sure that's exactly how he loves his day to start. Richard, belated birthday, happy birthday to you. I'm glad you're still in handing yourself a couple of prezzies. And I'm going to say, this filly looked amazing going to start, but we actually made a joke of it because Alan looked up at Neil and I and said, what do you think? And we said, her action's too nice to win over 1,200 on Polly. She's not going to do a scrabble. And you must have been a little bit worried when you 2 strides out the gates were pushing.
Yeah, look, she did canter down really, really well. And I was, you pull up and Kabila's next to me. I said to him, wow, if I had a draw, I think I'll win this race. It's just on what I felt going to the start. And obviously, we didn't have a good draw. Didn't know what to expect. I've never been on the filly. But the way she went down, it was nice and smooth, and she's got a nice demeanor about herself. And came out the gates, I was in trouble, always pushing at her. But just before we started swinging into the home straight, she was back on it, and I was starting to go a lot more comfortable. And I had a mile, a lot of work to do, but she did it for me. Went in after. She quickened up well. She won a really, really good race. So well done to Mr. Griff and the team, to my sponsors at Richmond, and obviously to the Heifer family. Thank you for them.
I've got to ask you, was she running on as impressively as it looked, or were they stopping in front?
No, I thought they weren't coming back at all. They were rolling.
That's
and,
what I want to hear. So we're going to keep an eye on this
yes,
one. Yes.
Yeah, Calvin's horses, I thought he might have gotten away from us, but like I said, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And this filly really flew home, so it's a win full of merit. So well done to everybody concerned.
Super, super competitive day lies ahead. You've got some rides to fight it out on. Are there any in particular that you're really looking forward to?
Well, there's a couple. That's why we're here. Not easy racing, like you said. It's very open in the books, and at the weights, there's a couple of swings and a couple of races. But we're here to work. Not much wind. Expect the track to be running fast, is what I felt, and a little bit of luck in running, and maybe one or two nice draws would have helped the day. But we're here to work.
I know you've got a run. I just want to touch on the black armband that you're wearing. I'll just join you back in shot here.
Jane Thomas.
And we can see that the jockeys wore black armbands in the first to just give the honour and respect to the passing of Jane Thomas. And she was a huge, huge horsewoman in our racing industry, both in character and in her ability and doing what she did best. And that was her pre-training centre, Far End Farm. And I'm glad that the jockeys got to play the respect that is due. So, Richard, thanks to you guys.
Yeah, and also a big condolences to her family, from all the jockeys and everybody in the racing fraternity. She will be missed.
She will. Richard, thank you.
Thank you.
Alan's going to step in and give us a little bit of a word about the daughter of Gimme the Green Light. And Alan, when I caught up with you earlier in the week, you couldn't be blamed for saying from that draw it would be hard for a horse with a couple of runs under the belt. So when you step out a green horse, you could just fluff the start. The draw becomes incredible, and it almost did prove a bit too much, but she got going incredibly well late.
Nate's here, when I gave my comment of should run well, if not green. That was it. I've nominated this filly countless times, and she just never got a draw, and eventually I thought, well, I've got to work with the cards I've been dealt with. Of course, yesterday I nominated her again for a maiden plate, and she drew 2. So I would have waited if I'd known that, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Very well done to Ridgemont Highlands and to the whole Heifer family for sending the filly down here to the Eastern Cape.
And on that note, we're going to ask Marilyn to come in, but because they are involved in the Racehorse Owners Association, they're going to score an extra 15 grand, which is always such a pleasure.
Well, Nate, I can never stress enough how much the Racehorse Owners Association does for racing, and you must have rocks in your head if you're not subscribed, because you win a maiden plate. It's money for jam. It's paid your subscriptions for many years to come. So well done to them. To Richard on a good ride. I thought my words might have rung true when she came out the gates. He was sitting at the back of the field, pushing, scrubbing, and then she started to pick up a bit. And I thought, okay. He pulled her out around the turn, she'll run a place. And then she just started to lengthen that stride and gobble up the ground. And, even if she'd run third or fourth, I would have been really pleased and thought, well, the greenness and the draw has beaten her, but draw 2 weeks' time would have done everything. But she's come to the party. Well done to everybody. I must echo Richard's sentiments to Jane Thomas. She's a huge character in racing. TBA are going to miss her hugely, as she used to be one of the selectors for our sales as well. And to Richard as well, happy birthday. Nakib upstairs this week having his birthday. Happy birthday to them. So it's been a bit of a bittersweet week on both sides.
It certainly has. And you can run, it's fine, I'll break it down. I was going to say it's been quite a long interview. I'm going to touch back on Alan's clips on Wednesday, where he did mark out all of My Best Shot, Arabian Red, Heart Stealer, Mass Vigilante, and Legal Thriller having winning claims, but possibly the standout for the yard on the day after this filly was First Wish. So keep your eye on those horses. It is a competitive day, and all those names that I have mentioned must be included in all your exotics. Very, very well done to everyone involved in Walk on the Wild Side. I think Ridgemont Highlands, you both bred and own what looks to be a horse we are certainly going to keep an eye on.